Donkey Kong 64 is one of the most memorable games for the Nintendo 64. The two things that make it so memorable to me are the Kongs and the worlds. I always found it hard to pick my own favorite Kong or favorite world, so that had me thinking, what if I made a Google Forms survey to get hundreds of people's opinions on this subject? And here are the results. The first question I asked is, what platform did you beat Donkey Kong 64 on for the first time? And 80.6% of people said Nintendo 64. Out of all the survey videos that I've done, this is the highest the Nintendo 64 percentage has ever been. This is mainly because Donkey Kong 64 only had one official re-release. Now let's look at how much people like Donkey Kong. 90% of people like Donkey Kong. 16.7% of people said that Donkey Kong was their favorite Kong. 10.9% of people said Donkey Kong was their least favorite Kong. Since we're comparing the 5 Kongs, I devised this formula to combine these 3 numbers together to give each Kong a total score. Donkey Kong's final score is 101.6. Overall, a pretty solid score. Next up is Diddy Kong. 87.6% of people like Diddy Kong, 23% said Diddy Kong was their favorite, 12.2% said Diddy Kong was their least favorite, giving Diddy Kong a final score of 109.2. Next up is Lanky Kong. 76% of people like Lanky Kong, 25% said Lanky Kong was their favorite, 23.9% said Lanky Kong was their least favorite, giving him a final score of 78.2. Next up is Tiny Kong. 74.6% of people like Tiny Kong, 15.8% said that she was their favorite, 28.1% said that she was their least favorite, giving her a final score of a nice even 50. And for the last Kong, we got Chunky. 77.7% of people like Chunky, 19.4% said that he was their favorite, 24.9% said that he was their least favorite, giving him a final score of 66.7. So here are the final results. So in the end, Diddy Kong ranked the highest. I think the reason why Diddy Kong ranked so high was because of his cool factor. He arguably has the best Kong barrel in the game with the rocket barrel boost. The fact that he dual wields his peanut pop guns was always a pretty cool thing. His electric guitar is a pretty cool instrument, and he was already known from the Donkey Kong Country games. Saying that, all the Kongs have a pretty respectable score. I think it really shows that Donkey Kong 64 does have a really solid cast of characters. For the question, do you like this Kong? This is the first time I checked every option that was available, because there isn't a single Kong in this game that I personally dislike. And the fact that all the percentages from most favorite to least favorite ranged between 10 and 30 shows that it was actually a pretty even spread. Although Lanky Kong came in 3rd place, he was picked the most for people's favorite Kong. So I think that definitely means something. Now that I've overanalyzed all this data, let's check out the data on all the worlds in the game. First up is DK Isles. 86.2% of people like DK Isles, 10.3% said that it was their favorite, 1.8% said it was their least favorite. Using the same formula we talked about earlier in the video, it gives DK Isles a final score of 103.2. Jungle Japes. 86.1% of people liked this world, 15% said it was their favorite, 2.1% said it was their least favorite, giving it a final score of 111.9. Angry Aztec. 63.2% of people liked this world, 8.2% said it was their favorite, 10.1% said it was their least favorite, giving it a final score of 59.4. I'm surprised this one scored so low, since it's the only level in the game where you can unlock 2 Kongs, and it's one of my personal favorites. Frantic Factory. 64.2% of people liked this world, 21% said it was their favorite, 12.3% said it was their least favorite, giving it a final score of 81.6. Next up is Gloomy Galleon, and oh boy, you guys really didn't like this world. Only 33.3% liked this world, only 3.1% said it was their favorite, and an astonishing 38.1% said it was their least favorite world, giving it a final score of negative 36.7. I think this is mainly because of all the swimming that's involved and all the time crunches in this level specifically. There's even a water changing mechanic in this world, and if we look at the water temple, that can be a pretty bad sign. Fungi Forest. 76.4% of people liked this world, 23.4% said it was their favorite, 5.1% said it was their least favorite, giving it a final score of 113. Although I really like Fungi Forest, I was surprised that it scored this highly. Crystal Caves. 51% of people liked this level, 4.2% said it was their favorite, and 15% said it was their least favorite, giving it a final score of 29.4. I'm kinda surprised this one ranks so low. I wonder if it had to do with the difficult beetle race. Now for Creepy Castle. 68.2% of people liked this world, 12.3% said it was their favorite, 5.5% said it was their least favorite, giving it a final score of 81.8. I always thought this level was a little underappreciated, but I guess I was wrong, it actually scored pretty well. And lastly, we got Hideout Helm. 53% of people liked this world, 2.5% said it was their favorite, 9.9% said it was their least favorite, giving it a final score of 38.2. Here are the final results. So in the end, Fungi Forest ended up taking first place, beating Jungle Japes by only a couple points. And Gloomy Galleon was by far the worst level in the game. The next closest was Crystal Caves, with an over 60-point difference. Thank you guys so much for checking out this video. If you want to check out my other survey videos, I got a video on Super Mario 64, Majora's Mask, and Mario Kart 64. And if you have any ideas for future surveys, let me know in the comments down below, I'd love to hear them. If you enjoyed this video, if you could leave a like or maybe consider subscribing to the channel, I would greatly appreciate it, and I hope that you all have a great day.